Here's my reactions to Lost Kingdom Season 5, Episodes 7, 8, and 9. There's going to be spoilers. Make sure you scroll if you don't want to hear them. Okay, so in these few episodes, the main scene that we have to talk about is the Brita and Uhtred scene. So we always knew that this had to come to a head because Brita was just becoming so hateful and having so much resentment in her heart for Uhtred that this had to be the last thing that happened between them. I always thought at the beginning of the season that Brita would go straight for killing one of his kids, which I think would have made it easier for Uhtred to have killed off her character. But because she did it, it made a lot of sense what happened at that scene. In most of the seasons, actually all the seasons, the scenes between them has always been the most heartwarming scenes. Because she was with him at the beginning, and I do feel like she should have been with him at the end. He always kind of brought her back home when they had those one-on-one conversations together. A lot of the times I feel like Brita had a very angry personality, and some of the things that has happened in her life to cause her to be that angry had not a lot to do with Uhtred. I feel like she just needed somebody to blame for that, and she blamed it on him because he was so opposite of her. For Uhtred, he was a very forgiving person, so he never held any anger or hate in his heart. He tried not to regret the past, and I feel like Brita really didn't like him for that, and she put all her resentment onto him, even though maybe it wasn't really his fault. The ironic part about that is that Storia actually started taking over the role of Brita, right? She was so filled with grief that she let her anger and her hate take over her relationships with the people that were closest to her, which would basically make her like Brita, because Brita pushed a lot of people away, and at the end she said that she felt totally alone, and I feel like that would be happen to Storia. And in a time of grief, Storia did the same thing. She blamed her dad for a lot of the things that happened, saying that his decision has made her lose everything. And sometimes I feel like the characters like to blame Uhtred for these things because he himself takes the blame for a lot of those things, and they just need a place to direct their resentment towards. Edward's character has grown a lot. He's a lot more direct. He's a lot more decisive. But what I don't understand is why they never heed the advice of Uhtred. Uhtred has never given them advice that has ever gone the wrong way, yet they always constantly say, you know what, I don't agree with that. I really want to do something else. And in this one scene, all of them stood up and said, we don't agree with you, Edward. We're with Lord Uhtred. Thank you. That's all we asked of you guys, like, for 4 freaking seasons.